Welcome into today's broadcast right here at Cog Hill Farm. Now, Peaches wouldn't let Nugget into the house for this episode, so here's Jason, Brooke, and our chicken master, Marycarl.
What is up, guys? This is another episode of the Cogcast podcast. This is the recap and question and answer show where we're going to recap and go into more detail of the videos that we did the week prior and answer some questions. Probably the biggest question that people have got right now is about the contest, the giveaway. So what you guys need to do is
check your email.
Check your emails. We did pick the winners, and we emailed everybody, and we did that. This is Monday when this podcast comes out. We did that Sunday afternoon. So check your emails. We've gotten a few people get back with us, but we did pick 20 winners. So check your emails and make sure that you it didn't go to spam or anything like that, because I think we're going to give it, what do we think about, maybe a week, and make sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking Friday would be sufficient as for enough time for somebody to read their email, because if you're anything like my personal email, if I'm 5 days behind on emails, I got a lot of email.
Yeah.
So if you got to go back 5 days, then you're probably not going to see it.
That's right.
So let's give it till Friday.
Yeah, we'll give it a whole week.
That'll be, well, it won't be a whole 7 days, but Friday will be enough time.
And we'll send out another email.
Yeah, just a second
if we haven't
reminder.
heard back from
if we
you.
hadn't heard back from you by, say, Tuesday evening, then we'll send a second email.
Right.
And let you know. And please understand that we have these winners that need to be notified. The giveaway people.
Yeah,
they
the
have
sponsors.
to know. That's right, sponsor. They need to know where these prizes need to go. So
right.
We can't just sit on it forever.
Yep.
And if nobody responds, we'll pick another winner.
Yeah, that's right.
I shouldn't say if nobody responds, but if the contestants that won the prizes do not respond, we will pick another winner.
That's right.
And because we're going to give these prizes away no matter what.
Going to give them away no matter what. They're just too good of prizes. So I got a feeling that probably we'll start hearing back from everybody pretty soon.
Yes, I think so too. I hope so. I'm thinking that probably some of them were their work emails maybe, and
I think so.
Maybe once they get to work.
And then tomorrow's President's Day, or
That's
today's
right.
Monday, so it's President's Day. So we'll give it enough time that they'll have adequate enough time to answer us back.
That's right.
So we'll watch that, and we'll let y'all know if anyways, regardless, you'll get an email if you won. Yeah.
You've already gotten an email.
Yeah, you've already got an email.
You'll get another one, but
That's
you
right.
need to respond to that first one.
Yep. And I didn't want to put people's names out there and that kind of thing who won.
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Just trust us. We have had some responses already, and the winners are out there, so check your email.
Check your email. I think I gotten 5 responses back out of 20, so.
Yeah, well, we're about 25%.
Yep.
So.
Yep. All right.
I don't even remember what our videos were.
We did the giveaway, which was 100,000 subscribers.
We're recapping that right now, right, Marycarl?
Yeah. And
don't go to sleep on us. She's had a friend over today, so she's kind of...
Well, she said she wasn't going to be in the podcast today, so we wasn't prepared for her to be in it. And then we went to sit down to record the podcast, and she was like, I want to be in the podcast. So
you do what your kid wants to do.
Right.
So she's got her pajamas on under this shirt. It's hanging out, and she had to put her Cog Hill shirt on.
That's right.
Speaking of that, interested in any Cog Hill merchandise, we'll put a link below.
That's right.
I'm trying to run this show. You
I
see
that,
don't you?
I see you trying to run the show.
I'm thinking I could take this job one day. Maybe just me and my little MC here, Marycarl.
You can do that.
Okay. She doesn't even need me. She could do this all by herself.
That's right.
We've had several people say that, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
We know she can do it, but we're just here for
the other video besides the giveaway, the 100,000. We hit 100,000 subscribers. Now we're pushing almost 100,000, 104,000. So we've gotten like almost 4,000 subscribers.
That's right.
Since we hit 100,000. So in a week we've gotten like 4,000 subscribers, which is crazy.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
but y'all, please continue to share so our channel can grow.
That's right.
We enjoy what we do, and we hope that you enjoy listening. I don't think you'd be listening if you didn't enjoy it. So
right.
Share. Podcast, Facebook, YouTube, all of it. Share it. Share it with your friends. Make them watch Cog Squad.
Maybe they'll become a
What was
Cog
the other
Squad.
video? I'm trying
The
to
other
remember.
video is we let the girl goats out. We let the girl goats out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the other video.
Marycarl, I bet you remember the whole time, didn't you? I bet you were sitting there thinking, my
I was
old
like-
mama can't remember a thing.
I really couldn't remember
You
it
couldn't remember either? We let the girl goats out.
And they thoroughly enjoyed
They
themselves.
so enjoyed them getting out. We need to do it more often, but it's just been kind of bleh here lately.
It's been
And it's
so
wintertime.
wet.
There's nothing really for them to go out there and forage on.
Alabama's under a winter storm warning. That doesn't
Yes.
happen. So
Somebody just asked me in a message on Instagram, were we okay? Because they just heard that Huntsville got 16 inches already of snow.
my gracious. Well, as I was running Marycarl's little friend home a few minutes ago, I took a glimpse at the weather while we were parked.
Uh-huh.
And I did see that Huntsville was on that severe. If we got 16 inches of snow here,
Oh my gracious.
Marycarl be on a snow sled going down.
That snow sled that Nana bought would come in handy, wouldn't it?
It would.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we just put our hands on those
We
today.
did put our hands on
We
those
were thinking
today.
ahead, weren't we, Marycarl?
Yeah.
You wouldn't enjoy that, would you?
I think I would.
You think you would?
Just for one day. I mean, I can't deal with it for the duration, but
Yeah. I don't know, 16 inches probably would last here 2 days, you reckon?
I don't know. I pity y'all that are under snow all the time.
Man.
Some of you enjoy it, but I live in Alabama
Yeah.
because I don't like the cold weather.
Right.
I get cold easy, and Hawaii would be the place for me.
Or California, like LA.
Yeah. Well, we visited California one time, and it
We
was
did.
quite chilly.
That's because we were in North California. We were in San Francisco where we went, so it was
I
northern.
thought we were pretty central.
Yeah, San Francisco's kind of.
We went in
there.
October, too,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I guess the weather during that
Right.
time is cold everywhere.
I
It wasn't
guess so.
cold. It was just cold enough for a jacket.
I know Southern California stays pretty
Warm.
warm.
All right. So, Southern Cal it is.
That's right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Y'all going with me?
Looks like most everybody's leaving LA right now
Well,
because they're still on lockdown.
oh, that's right.
Yeah, so it's still rough over there.
So we let the girls out, and
We
the
let the
boys got
girls
to
out.
watch. But the boys did get some carrots
Some carrot tops
for a reward
Yep.
because they didn't get to go out. So carrots it was. But
And well, I was gonna say somebody asked was one of the questions tonight is why did we not let the boys out? Are they aggressive? Are they rambunctious? What was the reason?
let's let Marycarl see what her answer is.
They stink.
They
Oh,
stink.
they stink. Well, true enough, they do stink. And true enough, we would probably have to grab them by their collar, which is where they like to urinate in that area,
Yep.
so they get that good cologne on them.
That's right.
And then we would be smelling like bucks,
Yep.
and we would not have it off for Valentine's Day.
It's not like a terrible odor. If anybody, this is the way I think of it.
Well, I think this was a question, too.
It was a question. What do they smell like? And my best example to me is the way a ferret smells.
Marycarl, what would you say?
Yeah. Like a ferret.
Like a ferret. It's like a musky, like a real musky odor.
Well, I must say that the smell of it coming from the animals when they're in their pen, and I'm in my pen, which is outside the pen, it doesn't bother me.
No.
It does not bother me. But when you get it on you,
Yes.
it does not go away.
It doesn't come off.
You can wash your hands 50 times and you'll still be smelling it.
And that
Yes.
makes you feel like it's an oil.
It is oil. It is oily. It
Okay,
is oily.
Well, there we go.
It is. It's like an oil substance that's hard to get off, and once you get it on you, you smell that musky ferret smell all day long.
We call it buckish.
It is buckish, very buckish, and that's the reason why we didn't
No,
let the boy goats out.
I beg to differ. I say that the smell was the reason we didn't let them out.
Yes,
but
the smell, but there's another reason,
there's another reason.
and that is
That the girls, the Nigerian dwarfs, go in heat year round.
yep,
So the possibility of Bo and Bootsy being in heat is pretty good
pretty good.
because they're in heat 1 week out of the month year round.
That's right.
So guess what those boys are going to do?
They're going straight to the girl goat pen.
And they're going to go.
And
Do yours,
snort.
Marycarl. Do
And
what
snort.
they do.
That's it.
You do it, Jason.
Like that.
And then they lift that back leg up and they pee all over their beard.
Yes.
And they're just going to stand there
And then
and do that over and over.
And they go,
And they sometimes show their bottom teeth.
Yes.
no, they don't have any bottom teeth.
I'm sorry. They do have bottom teeth because Bo shows hers quite regularly.
It's our front top teeth. I'm pretty sure goats don't have bottom
They don't
teeth.
have many, I know that.
Regardless,
It's like top teeth.
that would be my number one reason for not letting them out because we couldn't pull them away from the girls.
Yes.
They would just want to stand there. They wouldn't go forage in the woods. They're
That's right.
just there for the girls.
And when we had just Tip, it was different because Tip could go along. And we
Tip-
could let Tip out with the girls.
We could,
Yeah.
but those boys would be standing over there going,
They wouldn't like it. They would, and they'd probably, you
they
know,
would be hollering. They would want Tip to come back because he's a member of their herd.
Yes.
So I would say that that's probably my number one reason.
Right. Yeah.
What do you, Marycarl, do you think it was the smell or the fact that the girls were going to be targets for them?
Both.
I think it was a smell more than anything.
Yeah.
I think it was a smell.
But as far as the smell on our farm, when I drive up, if I'm not here and I drive up to feed them and I open my car door and the first thing I smell is not a buck.
It's not. It's not very strong.
It's not like
at
that.
all.
Now, we do
It's not.
only have 2 bucks. If you had 22 bucks, it might be
It
strong.
might be strong.
But a buck or two, it's not.
It's not.
You do not. Your farm doesn't reek of an odor,
Not at
anything
all.
like that. It's just when it gets on your hands.
Yep.
Also, when you step out of the car, the first thing you hear is a goose.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
Yeah.
Or if it's feeding time, you might hear a goat.
Speaking of geese, how many
Gooses.
attach?
99.
Actually, we have another one that's hatched, and I just forgot to tell you that.
Was it all the way out?
Yeah, it's like a gray.
It is all the way out. Oh, cool.
Well, I told her as we were running Piper home when we came back, she said she needed to stop at the barn because she had a silkie that had hatched. So I did so. And I said, look, we are pressed for time. We've been going all day. You're tired. So let's get the silkie and let's go home. Let's don't run out to the car and say, Mama, look what hatched. And now I wish she would have.
Your plan backfired on you.
It did. I might have to go out there and get my heavy coat out on and see what this gosling looks like.
Oh, my
It
goodness.
looks like ice cream.
So how many is that now? 7? Am I right?
I'm pretty sure it is 7.
Is
so
it 7?
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
counted 6 and we said that's almost the amount we have now. We have 7 grown geese.
Okay.
We
I
have
have
7
3
baby goslings.
3 outside and 3 inside and 1 in the incubator.
Yeah, it just hatched this evening, so
Okay.
it's not
Yeah.
ready to come in.
I got you.
It's not like we're neglecting it.
That's right.
We did look like this afternoon, and he had taken the entire top.
Almost
just
off.
about ready to pop
almost
off.
pop off. Yep.
And,
That's right.
And I knew it was coming soon, but she did fail to tell me that.
And usually we leave them in the incubator for 24 hours
We do.
anyways.
You
them
want
get
them
good
to
and
dry. You
Yeah.
want them to dry. You don't want
Yeah.
them to be frail and
That's right.
weak when they get in and mingle with their. Got an itch?
I did. Also, somebody asked, what are you going to do with all these?
What am I?
Yeah.
What
What,
am I-
or what are we?
Well,
What's the plan?
They're mine. You'd think I'd get to do what I wanted to with them, wouldn't you?
Once they're hatched, they're mine.
They're yours.
Exactly. And that was the bottom line.
Yeah.
So I thought, everybody wants a goose.
Yep.
So I thought I'd be nice and hatch everybody a goose that lives around here. And that's our friends that needed geese.
We do have some friends that want some geese.
We do.
And so that's where a majority of them are going to go.
And in years past, we have never known where the geese lay.
Yeah. Never.
Well, if we find the nest, it's an accident. And by that time, she's already sitting on it.
Yep.
And you don't want to take a mama goose's eggs.
You don't want to.
So what the deal is we have a lean-to shed where we park our tractor. And a local lady that buys eggs from us had asked us to save compost, save chicken manure.
Mm-hmm.
So Marycarl and I had cleaned out a brooder. I've got a hair right in my face. I'm sorry I keep doing this. But we cleaned out a brooder months ago.
Mm-hmm.
We put all the chicken manure along with the shavings in a trough. she was going to come like the next week or so to pick those shavings up. So I put it under the shed where I park my tractor, and we put the bush hog and other things like that, thinking it would be out of the weather. And when she comes, she could borrow this trough, take it with her, and then bring it back. Lo and behold, the geese started laying in it.
It's like the perfect place for geese to lay for some reason. They absolutely love this trough.
They love it. And I don't know how many geese are laying there. I think it's 3. Because I think I've had 3 different eggs.
Because they look different.
They look different.
Yeah, they're different sizes and shapes.
I've only seen one laying. Marycarl has seen another. So we've seen 2 between all of us. But my thoughts were, I'd hatch these babies and start giving them to our friends that want these geese. And Marycarl says, no, I got to wait and see what color they are.
What I'm doing now is I hadn't decided which ones I'm going to get rid of yet, because the first ones that hatch are always the babies. But if
you spend more time with the first one.
Yes. But if they're like a certain color that I don't particularly care for, I'll reserve those and put them aside into a different area so they won't get attached to each other. And then I'll park with those certain ones, but
sounds like she's got a plan.
Does sound like she's got a plan for the goslings.
I had to give my friend some ducks, and I had all those ducks that hatch, if you don't remember that, the podcast, but the ducks. And when they hatched, I said, I don't particularly like this one, so I'm going to put it over there. And I don't particularly like that one, so I'm going to put it over there.
It amazed me that she would even go that route.
Part with any?
No, as to say I don't care for these.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm just wondering what that little duck ever did to her to say I don't care for you. Did it come out and go, or what? I mean, what happened?
It's the colors.
Oh, okay.
I had like 4 yellow ones and a lot of the brown and white ones.
So you felt like you had multiple of one.
Yes.
I gotcha. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of good sense right there.
Another question we had was, what goose breeds are we planning to add? We've actually ordered some Toulouse breeds. We've got the large dewlap Toulouse, crested Toulouse. I think it's tufted, and French.
And you say we have ordered those, meaning they are not here.
They're not here.
Not here.
When are they coming?
When are they coming?
I think it's like April the 12th.
You're right on, my dear. You're right on.
And we ordered them like in December, didn't we?
Yeah. I don't know why, but for some reason Jason had just a nice streak that night and said, y'all pick out something that you want.
This was before I knew he was going to hatch 42 goslings.
And so Marycarl and I knew if we didn't do it that night, it wasn't going to happen. So we sat down and we all got to pick out our own goose breed that we wanted.
My favorite of the Toulouses they had was the tufted Toulouse, and I love the large dewlap, which was your favorite.
The dewlap was my favorite, which is pretty rare.
I don't know anything about a French Toulouse, but that was the one that I got, and we will find out. And
we will find out.
I think we did straight run. Did we do 2 females?
Yes.
2 females, and then Daddy's is the male. The large dewlap is the male.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and then it was a deal where if you bought...
Oh, yeah, this is...
I got an email. I did all this on my own. So, and there was an email that said if you added 10 birds to your 10 of ducks or geese to your order, you would get free shipping. So of course we did that. And I was like, "Ooh, I want that duck. I want that duck." And we got 10 runner ducklings.
She got all runners, and they're different colors, and she got to choose all that she wanted as if we need another duck. Yes. But I guess you could say as if we need another goose.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. We take care of our animals. We're not just...
The ducks have, like, unlimited mud puddles.
Right now they do, but they're going to dry up. But
it's going to dry up.
Here's the deciding factor, I think. Our ducks and our geese, until this year, have never spent all their time in the creek.
They do spend a lot of time in the creek. But would the runners spend a lot of time in the creek, though?
But when they do, they look like penguins.
When they need to, they go to the creek. I mean, we don't have to provide a swimming pool for them. That's Nugget's deal, as you can see my shirt. Swimming pools are for nugget, not for ducks.
Speaking of nugget,
We need a shirt that says swimming pools are for emus, not ducks.
maybe so. Speaking of that, he got in his swimming pool today at 40 degrees.
And we're in a winter storm warning.
And acted like it was 110 outside.
Well, I saw him right after he had obviously taken a dip, and I said, Nugget, what are you doing? And I was just making conversation with the guy, and Jason was like, he just got out of the pool.
Just got out of the pool.
He was dripping.
And it's been cold today.
It would have been funny if it would have
Piper
froze on him.
Did you and Piper take a dip in the pool today?
No.
Good.
Good.
I think there was a question that was directed to you, Marycarl.
It was a question directed to Marycarl.
About the orchids.
How are your orchids doing?
They're doing good. This is a phalaenopsis, and correct me if I'm not saying that right.
She's an 11-year-old in botanical training, so y'all help a girl out.
But I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I'm not really sure what color it is.
How many orchids do you have now?
I don't know.
About the same amount of geese that I'm hatching, probably.
Yeah, it's like every
more.
time we go somewhere, it's like, I want an orchid.
Well, now we have to say, Marycarl, we'll go anywhere you want to go, but we can't. We just don't need another orchid, okay?
We've run out of room to put orchids.
And with this weather, we're moving them from the greenhouse to the inside of the house, from the greenhouse to the inside of the house, because we don't want anything to happen to them.
That's right.
They are doing very well. She does take good care of them.
She does.
And she's learning a lot. We have multiple books on orchids, so she's been able to read up. We even have one that's kind of offending. It's called Orchid for Dummies. My child is no dummy. But she's learned from that orchid book.
I went to the thrift store bookshop and I bought like 5 orchid books for like $10. So that was one of them.
She has enjoyed. I mean, there have been times that she'll just come get that book and just sit down with me and we just look at orchids.
Look at orchids.
And you're like,
Well, it's just kind of like not my thing. I'm a goose lady myself, and
the geese aren't yours after they hatch.
after they hatch.
She's a goose egg lady.
So you should thank me for all these geese.
I can't hardly
Now,
deal
please,
with them.
now, please, I need to thank you. No, she told me the other day, Mama, I've got too much going on to be taking care of your geese too.
She's got orchids and ducklings.
That's right. Well, she's doing a good job.
And chicks.
And chicks.
She hit the 11-year-old mark this year, and I'm telling you, responsibility has stepped up.
It has stepped up.
It's kind of like when you have a new baby and you realize all that you got to take care of.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Marycarl's like turned that corner. She's just accepted responsibility. She realizes all the critters she's got to care for, and she gets it done.
Thank goodness.
And therefore, I feel like if we have the ways and means to take care of something, I can't tell her no when she's doing it right.
Especially when it's her own money too, right?
That's right.
Now I have 6 silkies.
I'm trying to look at the time to make sure.
6 silkies.
See, I can't see it.
I got you.
6 silkies that you've hatched.
Yeah. I've got 2 black normal silkies. I don't know what their feathers are going to be like. They could be sizzled, they could be satin, or they could be just a normal silky. And
how long will it take for you to figure that out?
A day or 2.
Oh. Okay.
Tomorrow, maybe, if they're
dry.
Yeah. And probably the next day, but they are really little right now.
Really little.
I think your favorite one was as we were coming home this evening, wasn't it?
Yes.
What color is it?
Tell them what color.
It's a blue, and I think
Ooh.
it's going to be a sizzle.
She was
blue
grinning
sizzle.
from ear to ear when she got in the truck, and she had it all cuddled up in her hands, and she was like, "Oh my gracious, Mommy, you got to see this! You got to see this!" Never said anything about my gosling hatching. Now,
No, she's worried about the blue sizzle.
well, I guess she realized that it had been in there enough time to dry, and she could tell the color, and she forgot about my poor goose.
Forgot about your poor goose.
Your
Yeah.
goose was
But
sleeping.
Remember this: once it hatches, it's yours.
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
only mine while it's in the egg.
That's right.
This is tough.
Another question. This has been asked a lot here lately. Is it's gonna be 2 questions. They're all gonna kind of be together. Is number 1 was how many trips to the feed store do we make a month?
Marycarl, can you answer that?
About 1.
About 1.
About 1.
We usually get all our feed at one time when we can. Now every now and then we may have to make a trip,
She
But
says,
for the most part, it's just one big trip.
right, and Marycarl says about one because we use feed barrels, and what we call a feed barrel is a
The food grade
barrel.
yeah. Thank y'all. Food grade barrel. I was at a loss, but we use these barrels, and we actually found them on Craigslist. I bet you can too. Just look for
food grade barrels. So you can, a lot of
grade
times they're just called feed barrels. Yeah.
But they have a top on it that seals pretty good. We've
Seals
never had an
really good.
issue with moisture getting in it. It's so easy that Marycarl can use them.
That's right.
I act like you can't do anything. I was just talking about how far you've come in the past year.
And they hold roughly, 250 pounds?
That's right.
Yeah.
The convenience of it is some of my goslings have moved outside with her ducklings, and she would have
It's
to.
more like all of my critters.
Okay, we'll say R. We'll say Cog Hill Farms ducks and geese have moved outside, some of them, and we have a barrel over there because it's hard for her to carry a 1 gallon, 3 gallon, 5 gallon, whatever,
feeder
full of feed because it's heavy, and plus, you're walking a good distance. So we put a barrel over there because we can put them anywhere we want to.
Yep.
When we get the feed, then we just wheel it or tractor it or carry it to that location, empty it in there, and we use old coffee cans for scoops. Use whatever you want to, but we just happen to have so many barrels that that it was convenient for us to use coffee cans.
Coffee cans are just we just recycling them,
and they never wear out. I
Never
don't think.
wear out.
I mean, we've been using the same ones for like 10 years. Seems like.
Forever.
But
You cut me short on my silkies.
Oh,
sorry.
But I was saying that blue one, and I've got 2 black, just not showgirl silkies. They're really pretty. They're shiny black. And then I've got white, kind of a tannish. I think it's going to be a sizzle because it hatched out of one of April's eggs. And then a little white showgirl and a buff showgirl.
Okay.
Another question we had was...
Well, hang on. You cut me short. About the feed was...
we hadn't answered that.
How much money do we spend on feed? We get asked that a lot as well.
Let's see how good this kid is with her money. Do you have any clue?
About $250.
Wow, she
That's
pays
it.
attention.
Yeah.
It's about $250 a month for our feed, and usually that's about 20 bags,
Yeah.
and that would consist of laying pellets, goat feed, maybe some laying crumble for the quail,
Chick starter.
Corn.
and maybe some scratch in there. It just depends on what we have left over. We don't buy scratch and corn every month. We kind of alternate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the corn's just to cut the alarm system off, and just a little snack for everybody.
And Nugget loves it.
And Nugget loves it too.
It's just a treat. It's in moderation. It's like giving a kid candy. You wouldn't sit down and give a 50-pound bag of candy to a kid, so you wouldn't do that to your chickens either.
And all our poultry have access to food 24/7.
And we kind of experimented with this.
Yeah.
Back early on, probably before Marycarl was even born, we would feed our chickens morning and evening.
Kind of like the goats.
And I just always hated to feel like they were hungry.
Well, here's the thing with the chickens would be that you would feed them and they knew you were coming to feed them. So they were all just, hang on. Sorry, I had to reset the camera. But they all were just sitting there just waiting on you. And it was just like savages and piranhas. And so then the ones that were more or less aggressive would be tail. You know what I mean? They wouldn't get the ones that were more aggressive would get to eat first and gorge. And
I just didn't like to see everybody filling up a circle to try to get a kibble. And I mean, I can't imagine me being at the dinner table and y'all getting all the food and me having to wait till it was gone, you know?
Yeah. And plus, too, we realized that there's no difference in the feed bill, letting them 24/7 and feeding them twice a day.
And y'all might find this differently.
Ate more when we fed them.
I think so too, Marycarl.
May have eaten more
because they gorged on it,
they
just got hungry during the day and night.
Yeah.
And we do free range them. All our chickens are free range, so they're not locked up. So they can, they eat all kinds of stuff throughout the day, whatever they can find in the forest and around the farm. But they still like the feed.
They do.
And the ones that are like not as
friendly.
No, the ones that are more friendly actually. And the ones that are old and don't walk very well or hurt ones, they stay in the run area. And
that's right.
They fly and go out of the gate. The ones that want to. And then if they don't want to, they just stay in the run.
And they
Cleo
have shelter.
normally stays in there.
They have water.
Yeah.
They have food.
They got everything they need.
And then they can get outside. They can go free range.
They can go wherever they want.
And some people, I guess, that haven't watched videos far enough back, wonder, do we ever let our chickens out? Yes, we let our chickens out. That little enclosure that's outside the coop, it's just kind of their safe space.
Yeah.
That's what I would call it.
And it keeps other things out.
Well,
getting away. Peaches, she can't get their feed.
I was fixing to say, if Peaches came down there and we didn't have that gate closed, and she could get in there,
it would be gone.
She'd eat 100 pounds of feed.
She'd knock the feed over.
Well,
she would.
I wouldn't be worried about her knocking it over as much as I would her eating it.
She would eat it. I'm just saying she would knock the feeders over and eat it.
She would.
She would. And that, like I said, it just keeps things out that we don't want in there. And the chickens can go in and out as they please. They just hop right over. So it's no big deal to them.
Right.
And, of course, we let the gate open, too, and let Nugget out while we're down there.
And we're watching Peaches at that time. We would know if she got in there.
We know if Peaches gets in there, yeah. Peaches does not eat chicken food, period.
No.
Another question that leads to the same thing we're talking to is, what is the block we have in the chicken run? It is not a mineral block. It's like a feed block. It's
compressed.
Yeah. And it's just like corn and scratch and little seeds.
Molasses. It's just something that they like.
Yeah. And it's mainly for chickens that are cooped up, but ours enjoy it.
All the chickens enjoy it.
Yeah, and they don't gorge on it like it's corn or something they only get once a day. They just eat it, peck at it, like every other time another chicken comes by. Like, I'll see a chicken walking around in the run, and then she'll get a bite of that, and then walk around and get a drink of water and go back to it.
I remember back years ago when we would go, we might take a trip or something.
Yep.
We would always pick up a flock block. So that way, if the chickens did get hungry and somebody didn't do what they were supposed to as far as feeding and taking care of things,
it's a great backup.
They would have feed.
It's a great backup. So if you do go on vacation, grab a flock block. Purina makes them. How you say it?
I don't know.
Klombach. They make them, and
I'm sure other companies make them. They're between $10 and $15.
Yep.
And that sounds like a lot of money, but we can get one and it lasts 2 months.
Yeah, it lasts a long time.
Nugget even eats it.
Nugget likes it. Everybody likes the flock block. Thomas, the turkeys.
I tasted it the other day and I thought it was good. I mean, it was kind of like a pancake, but it had some chew to it.
That's funny. Speaking of the feeders too, that was another question tonight. Is what are those feeders we have?
You know that, Marycarl?
And where do we get them from?
I believe they're coal feeders.
They are KUHL. They hold 50 pounds of feed per feeder.
And we're not sponsored by them, but we do love that feeder. We bought them back when we had Cornishes.
Yep.
And it was a good way for us to keep feed to our meat chickens.
Plus, we wasn't wasting so much time filling feeders up because Cornishes eat a lot and they're weatherproof.
And we were interested in any kind of time-saving mechanism we could come up with. And I'm going to tell you, we say that, our birds go through $250 worth of feed a month.
Yeah.
When we had meat birds, we were feeding those 50-pound feeders up twice a day.
Yes.
And that was with 100 meat birds.
That is 100, yeah.
I'm not trying to discourage anybody from getting meat birds.
Also, the Duncan poultry feeder, I like it.
Marycarl has it in her coop.
They're on the inside because it's not weatherproof.
It's easy for them to get their heads down in. It's a big hole. especially the little chickens, they like a big hole for their head to go down in because some of them have the big poofy muffs on their face.
And it's lower to the ground.
And it holds 50 pounds too.
Yeah, it's Duncan Poultry.
Yep.
And they have sponsored us in the past from several different items, from nesting boxes to feeders.
And we'll try to put the links to this stuff down there. Now, the coil feeders came from QC Supply.
And you were all on that on your own.
That was
I didn't
me.
know anything about it.
I researched, and they were at the time they had the best deal on those. And Coles also makes those automatic waterers.
Say, that's what we use for the Bell Plasmic. Is that how you say
Bellmatic.
it? Bellmatic waterers. That was game changer too when we had meat chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Marycarl hit me on the leg. That means she's tired and she's ready to cut this short. So this is Marycarl, and I'm out. Get out of here, girl.
She's gone. Take your orchid.
We enjoyed you.
Yes.
She's tired and she's done. I understand.
I don't know if it got me any questions left. Let's see here. I was looking through them. When will we have some baby goats?
I like baby goats. Do we need to unplug her mic?
Yeah, so it won't get any type of... Now.
Boy, I'm on it tonight,
You are on it tonight.
I'm learning this podcast system.
Have this thing figured out for I know it.
Okay, so baby goats.
Yes. Well, we know that the Nubians won't be till next year.
We can breed Nigerians at any time. They are pregnant for 5 months, as with all goats.
Right.
If we bred them right now, we would be into hot weather.
Yes.
When they were born.
Right.
You don't want them to be born in the... I'm no goat expert.
No, and we have done it that way.
We have, but it was probably...
Not the ideal situation.
We probably weren't thinking as much ahead as we do now.
Yes.
Our friend Terry that used to have Old South Farm, she's now calling herself retired.
Mm-hmm.
She advised against having babies in the heat of the summer because of pneumonia.
Yes.
Not telling you did wrong. If yours are bred, that's fine. But if you're planning your breeding, which we have the ability to do because we have 2 separate pens.
Yep.
I'm not going to do it until I know I can have babies at the right time of the year.
Probably in the fall.
And it's according to your climate, too, because you don't want it to be too cold. Don't want it to be 115 degrees. Humidity is more like it.
And sometimes you have crazy weather patterns, and you can't help it.
That's right. So, I mean, it's kind of a no-win situation sometimes. But then if you have the ability to help it, then maybe, that's a good idea. But I'm excited to breed Nubians. That's my excitement. And this fall, which we're end of winter now, so this coming fall, September, October, November, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
We're going to breed those girls.
Yep.
Fifi and Capri will be mamas. I don't know if we'll breed them both. I don't know. I just don't know.
Don't know yet.
Because it would be a whole nother year before we could breed them again. I'd like to breed both of them.
But maybe not the same time.
Maybe not. Maybe a month apart.
Yeah.
Would that be good?
I think that'd be good.
We better listen to this recording again so we'll remember what we said, because I'm sure not.
And we'll get all our ducks in a row and all that too.
Yeah, I would like to have my milking area completed by that time, because I'm not going to miss another milking.
And we've talked about it. We don't have like a breeding area, or not a breeding area, but a kidding station or a kidding area.
Yeah, but
kidding stall.
We don't have but 4 does. They're not all 4 going to be delivering at the same time.
No.
That's not a issue. It hasn't been a problem in the past, but not to say that we don't need it, because we probably do.
I would like to be able to separate the mom and the baby.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that they're not mean or anything like that. So
no, you just don't want them to feel like they're having to defend their young.
Right. That's what I'm thinking too.
And they they're motherly. Of course, if anything that's got a baby is going to have that motherly instinct, and their instinct is to protect their young.
That's right.
So if they feel like something is being threatened, then they're going to be stressed.
Yep.
So that we're kind of out of space, but we got to let it dry out some before we can do anything.
Yep.
I don't want to get in there with my little tractor and get it stuck. So we're leaving the red that we have brought in. I call it red. Yeah. I don't know if y'all know what red is, but it's just dirt that
It's
we
just
brought
red
in
dirt.
to raise up the land some so we can build areas for the goats to kid and build milking stations. Without that, we couldn't have done it. But we did it at a rainy time, and I can't get in there until it dries out.
And it doesn't look like the rain's going to stop anytime soon.
But that's okay. I mean, goats aren't pregnant, so we're not, we're not sitting around saying, oh, we got to have this done by March 1st. There is no deadline, so we won't do anything that requires immediate housing.
Right.
So the goats will be bred, more than likely the Nubians before the Nigerians.
Yep, I think so too. I think you're right. Let's see here. What else do I have? I don't want to see. Got that one. We've answered this one before, but we still get asked this a lot. In guinea fowl. Will we ever consider owning guinea fowl?
Not as long as I live here.
We've had them twice. We've owned guineas twice, and both times were not a pleasant experience for us. And it had nothing to do with that's the first thing people say is, was they too loud? No, they wasn't too loud at all. I mean, it's loud here, so the noise don't bother us. It was the fact that the males were very aggressive towards our chickens and especially our roosters. And they roosted on top of our house. And plus, you don't want them up there pooping on your steel roof and, just that kind of thing. And they roosted on your mom's car.
Yeah, and my daughter has never asked for a guinea.
Never asked for a guinea. Well, I think she was alive and well during that time, and she remembers. Yeah, I think so too.
What we went through. But there have been numerous times when we've been in feed stores and them not have any chicken breeds that she wanted, but they've had guineas, and she's never asked me for one.
Never asked you
Nor
for one.
have I offered to buy any.
But yeah, that was our experience with guineas.
Not saying it won't work for you, because they are good at eating a lot of ticks, a lot of bugs, chasing snakes away.
Yep.
But it's not for the cogs. I mean, the Cog Hill will not have guineas.
No, we won't have guineas at all.
Y'all don't get
beating
any
up
ideas.
on our
Don't
roosters.
mail us any guinea eggs because we don't want them.
Beating up on our roosters was really the main thing that I didn't like about them at all.
I'm not saying they're all like that either. You may.
But we were 2 for 2 with it.
We were 2 for 2. It didn't work for us, and I'm not willing to try that again.
No. So no guineas for us.
There's things like broccoli that we didn't grow successfully.
That's right.
That we kept trying and were successful. Guineas ain't gonna cut it.
Guineas ain't gonna cut it, and the broccoli is being off the chain.
Man, Jason and I both worked together today to put together this broccoli salad.
Yes.
And y'all, I'm gonna tell you, Piper and Marycarl, Piper's Marycarl's little friend, they loved it.
They loved it. It was delicious.
I did not put onion in it because I knew I had children that would be eating.
It would have been good with it.
It sure would. I might have to cut us up an onion and add it to our leftovers. What do you think?
That'd be good.
It was really easy, and it was really good.
Well,
we used some butcher box bacon.
We did.
And we crumbled it up in there. I baked the bacon in the oven.
Yep.
And that way, we felt like it was a little healthier. It doesn't call for but a half a cup. And half a cup of bacon, that's not that much. Added with broccoli, you're overriding it with the broccoli, right?
Overriding it with the broccoli, that's right.
So we'll try to put that recipe down below.
And it's going to be in one of our videos coming up this week.
Good. So y'all watch that video.
So you'll see the
making of the broccoli salad.
Of the broccoli salad. It was delicious.
It was. And we've got a little bit left for leftovers. So
that's right.
I'm happy for that.
Another question was, we got a couple questions.
I was fixing to say, do I need to look at that paper? Because you said we were out.
No, I thought we were, but it was, how many acres do we have right now? We have roughly 7-ish.
7-ish, in which about 2-ish are being used.
Yep.
Reason being, the rest of it's wooded and hillsides.
Wooded and hilly. And across the creek is kind of residential-ish.
It's not kind of residential. It is. We signed a agreement that we would not have any.
It has provisions on it. Even though it's not like a neighborhood like you think of a neighborhood. No, it's still got restrictions.
When the lots were sold in this neighborhood, it was sold as restricted. And the restrictions were you can't put a mobile home on it. You can't. I mean, it was just things like that. Yeah. And one of them was no livestock. No livestock. So we don't have anything on the other side of the creek.
Unless they walk over there.
Well, they walk over there and they do forage, but who's going to say anything about that?
That's right. Nobody.
So we basically have about 2 acres that's usable land. And that part is kind of in the bottom.
It is. It's in the bottom.
It goes, like the property goes like this, down the driveway, and then here's our animals, back up to the hillside where our house is, and then it just continues to go up and the cemetery's back behind us.
It's beautiful property. It's really wooded. You know, you got these huge trees on it.
I just wonder sometimes if the hurricane had not came through in 2004 when we built our house, would we have what we have now?
I don't know. That's a good question. I cannot answer.
I can't either, but I'm glad it happened.
I'm glad it happened. At the time, we didn't. We thought it was a disaster.
Oh, my goodness. I can just remember every night worrying about how we were ever going to get it cleaned up. I mean, we had worked for 2 years building our dream home, and here our land was destroyed.
Yep.
It's not destroyed now.
It's not now. That's right.
It's wonderful. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
What you got?
I got Brooke.
Oh, goodness.
How much weight have you lost?
Weight?
Yes.
I've lost some weight.
You've lost some weight.
Okay. So, all kidding aside, I joined Weight Watchers, which is no sponsor of this channel.
But if they want to be, you can send us an email
can hit me
at
up because
coghillfarms.com.
I was successful. I started the program in April. I had never been on a diet in my entire life. My friend Melissa had been doing Weight Watchers, and she just had great success.
And I want to stop you. Meat included, didn't think you were eating bad.
No. Marycarl was going to school at the time, and that took up a lot of time driving to and from carpool.
Right.
I would leave here at 7:15 in the morning, take her to school, get back home, start taking care of chores and doing whatever. Well, by the time that I ate lunch, I was my sugar was low. I needed something
Some
to
protein.
eat. And I would just grab peanut butter or, just things that I thought I was doing a good thing, but I shouldn't have been eating it unless it was in moderation.
Right.
So I'd grab and go. That was my thing. I didn't eat chips. I didn't eat, things I didn't eat cookies.
Right. Things that you think
are bad for you.
That are bad for you.
And so I thought to myself,
bad for you.
Maybe I've got a thyroid problem. And I never was obese. I wouldn't say that.
Right.
But I wasn't happy with the way I looked compared to what I was eating.
Right.
And I didn't want to be unhealthy. That was my number one thing. I wanted to be around for my husband, and I wanted to be there for my daughter. And my blood pressure had gotten a little elevated, and I had actually had some heart palpitations that kind of scared me. I'd visited a cardiologist a couple of times, found out that was not an issue. It was, I was perfectly healthy, even had a stress test.
That's right. I remember that.
Oh,
you had to wear that monitor for
had to wear a heart monitor
couple of weeks.
because my heart was skipping so bad that it was disrupting my life. And so I had to wear a monitor for 30 days?
Yeah, it was a long time.
Oh, y'all, that was, some of y'all have to wear that constantly, and I feel for you. But upon completing that study, stress test, monitor, I was perfectly healthy. That didn't mean I felt healthy.
Right.
Because I didn't. I felt like I was overweight, didn't like the way I looked, and wanted to do better. So my friend Melissa had been successful on Weight Watchers, and she never, coerced me to try it. She just told me what she was doing. So one day I had enough of myself, and I joined Weight Watchers, and they put you on a point system. It's, I can't even remember. It's like 3 different colors, and you get an allotted amount of points and take a little survey and decide what program's best for you.
Right.
I never changed. I can't even remember what color I was on.
I think
this was just April.
Green?
Yeah, probably green.
And you wouldn't like you were on meetings or eating their program, like their food.
I did nothing but downloaded the app.
That's all you did was download the app.
And there was a lot of times that I scanned food because I didn't know what to eat.
Yes.
I did not know. I'd never been on a diet. I did not know what was, I wouldn't say good for me and bad for you. You know, chocolate chip cookies ain't good for you.
Right.
You know, apple is. But it was just me trying to figure out what was right for me.
Right.
So the first couple of weeks that I started, I really just felt terrible.
You did feel terrible. You were really sick, and I kept saying, I know it's your diet change. Your body's in shock.
I just am not a sickly person, and I felt terrible to the point where I would have to lay down during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I stuck with the diet, and I just increased my caloric intake a little bit. I kind of took that diet to the extreme.
You did take it to the extreme.
And I think that's why I was sick, because I wasn't getting enough calories.
Yeah.
I just ate apples and
Right.
I wasn't getting enough.
Well, they allot you like how many points a day? 20?
30.
30.
I was allowed 30 points
30
a day.
points, and you'd have 15 left over, and then we got to figure out, you need to use your points.
I was going from never dieting before in my life to using 15 points.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the only way to do it. I thought that was the only way I was going to lose weight, is if I went under my points and did this and did that. Well, I picked it up a notch, and I started using those points, and I started maybe even eating a few things that weren't so good for you, but in moderation.
In moderation, that were in the point system.
One good thing for me is I'm a creature of habit. I can eat the same thing every day and not get tired of it.
Right.
So I found out that baked fish worked for me. Marycarl's homeschooled now. I'm no longer running to and from. So I can thaw out a piece of fish and bake it in the oven with some blackening or something like that on it. Have that for lunch. And it was like 1 point for a fish fillet.
Yep.
And I wouldn't feel hungry.
Yep.
Now, I will eat air pop popcorn.
And how many points is air popcorn?
Geez, 2.
And
and it's like a bucket.
It's just a bunch. And then we figured out that we can use a healthy fat like olive oil or avocado oil.
Spritz it on your
or
popcorn.
Coconut oil and spritz it on there and put salt. And let me tell you guys, it tastes so good. Because
like
when she
movie
started
theater.
eating like that, I started eating like that too.
It tastes like movie theater popcorn.
It does.
Marycarl has always chose healthy choices. She would rather have an apple over a chocolate chip cookie.
Absolutely.
And that is not anything that we so much instilled in her. It's just her.
Just her. She's not a big
She'd rather have a
candy
salad
eater
over French fries.
She would.
I mean, I know y'all think you got a crazy kid, and I may, but that's what she likes.
That's what she likes.
That's what she likes.
So how much weight have you lost?
Back to my lunch, I would eat pretzels. Pretzels became a staple. I would count out the pretzels. I could have 22 pretzels, and it would be like 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time my lunch was done, I would have roughly 20 points left.
Yes.
For dinner. And I would cook for my family and eat whatever they ate in moderation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when I started out, I weighed 160 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I should put numbers on the air, but I am, just because.
Yeah.
To this day, I weigh 130.
So you lost 30 pounds.
I've lost 30 pounds.
And you started, has it been a year yet?
April.
April will be a year.
April will
so
be
it
a
hasn't
year.
even been a year yet.
And guess what? I don't even have the app anymore.
Yeah, because you know what to eat now.
I canceled my Weight Watchers, and I could have canceled it in August probably.
Yeah.
Because I learned. Well,
right.
I don't have to look at those points anymore. I know what's good and bad.
Right.
Now, there are times when I say, I wonder how much that is. But I have ate correctly throughout the day. So, therefore, if I want that, I can have it.
Yeah.
And that's what's so good about the Weight Watchers program. You're not cutting out. You
No.
are just moderation.
Moderation and learning that peanut butter was not on the list. It had a lot of points.
It did. I mean, I was allowed like 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, which is a lot.
Right.
But that might be 10 points.
Yeah, which was
I'm
shocking.
not saying that because that's not the exact figure, so don't quote me on that.
Right.
But it was a lot compared to what I had been
Right.
consuming. When I graduated high school, I weighed every bit of 100 pounds, and that's it.
Yeah.
I had never had a weight problem in my life.
Right.
So having to deal with being a little bit heavy and not feeling comfortable in your clothes and feeling like you weren't healthy was new to me. After I had Marycarl, I guess is when I had the hard time getting the weight off.
It was after you had Marycarl is exactly when it happened.
And I think a lot of people are in
I think
that
a lot
same
of
boat.
women, yeah, I think so.
It has to be, you have to have that mindset that you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, there's no point.
Right.
You're going to be so frustrated with yourself. You can weigh every day and be like, I hadn't lost but a half pound in 2 weeks. You can't do that.
And you weigh on every Monday.
I weigh on every Monday, but now I'm not so consistent with it because I know I haven't gained any weight.
Right. And you look great.
Well, thank you. I feel good. And I think that's the bottom line is I feel good. I will never let myself get there again because I didn't feel happy with myself.
Right.
And it is so frustrating to look at yourself and be unhappy. There's some facial features and things that we can't change.
Right.
I have a lot of freckles. There's nothing I can do about that.
Right.
But I also had a few extra pounds and I could do something about that. So I did.
So you did. So that's how she did it.
That's how I did it.
Weight Watchers out.
Weight Watchers out. Did I have no more?
Did you have no more? That's awesome. Let's see if we got anything else on here. Acres, I don't want to miss anything. There was one from Marycarl. How does she remember all the names of the animals? We have no idea. So
her diet.
No
her
idea.
diet.
We have no idea how she knows.
She eats a lot of greens, and it enhances your memory. And
because we don't know. We know the names of
know.
Our favorites, but
yeah,
that's about it. We have to ask her.
We don't know that.
I guess that's it.
That's it.
I guess
think
that's it. Plus, we're
up.
getting close to an hour.
I'm looking at that. I'm fixing to
Yeah.
hit you on the leg and try to figure out how I can tell you the time's up.
But no, I guess that's it.
Y'all keep those questions rolling.
And please check your emails, check your spam, make sure you did not get an email from us. And I guess that's it. We'll see y'all. Well, we have a video coming out on Wednesday, a vlog.
Tell your friends and family to watch these crazy characters.
That's right. And then we'll have a podcast on Thursday and then another video on Saturday.
Marycarl's taking this podcast on Thursday very seriously. She starts researching very early, so y'all be prepared for what's to come.
Be very prepared.
And let's say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Y'all be good.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the podcast. I hope you like these podcasts. And if you have not seen our main channel, our vlogging channel, check it out right over here. And I put a couple of videos over here that I think you may like. Y'all be good.